The next aspect of the gospel that I want to share with you is the aspect of Jesus Christ himself. Who is he? Who is Jesus Christ? Now, many of us can look and say, hey, he was a man who walked on the earth. He walked and talked among us as human beings. He lived a couple thousand years ago. But we would be missing the whole point of who Jesus was and who Jesus is if we only see him in the flesh. Actually, it is spoken of Jesus in John chapter 1, beginning in verse 1. It says, in the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. And there was nothing made that was made except by him. And in him is life, and that life was the light of men. And it says, dropping down into verse 14 of John 1, and the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. It is Jesus who came into the world. He was the Emmanuel, promised to come, meaning God with us. He was the one that entered in to take on the form of flesh so that he could be made like us, so he could experience life like we do, to be a faithful and merciful high priest and mediator, knowing what it is to be tempted, knowing what it is to walk in the weakness and the frailty of flesh, to identify with us as a people. And his purpose in coming was to identify with us so that he could relate to us, and also he could be that mediator between us and God our Father in heaven. And he came emptying himself of his glory and his power so that he could lay down his life for us. For it says in Philippians chapter 2, let this mind be in you that was also in Christ Jesus, who, being in the form of God, did not consider it something to be held on to be equal with God, but made himself of no reputation, taking on the form of a bondservant and coming in the likeness of men. Now, who is this God that we serve, who created us and yet would come in the form of flesh? Well, this is Jesus Christ. This is the one who came into this world for you and me. This is the one who wants to relate to us, to give us hope, to give us life. For he came not in the power of the flesh, but he came with the power of an endless life, to give endless life to everyone who wanted it. The life that he had and that he has today, he offers to you and me, that we might live with him forever. Let's learn more.